Kind of this DC doublespeak, I call it. You know, he says that he's worried about the deficit, but when he was in charge and had a chance to do something about it, it went from a $128 billion surplus to a $1.2 trillion debt. Now, during that whole time, did you ever hear a whimper about the deficit from those Republicans? I'll bet not. They're only talking about it now that they're not in charge. Because when they were in charge, they didn't do anything about it. So I call bull on that, and you should too. You ever notice that Congressman Blunt, a couple weeks ago, he was driving around the state, he had this big bus that said, "Jobs for Missouri's Future" on the side. Guess what he did the next week? He voted against the jobs bill. That it gives small businesses a way to hire people back. It's unbelievable. To me, that's bull. We need to call him on that. This is the guy who says he wants to go to Washington to represent us. Well, I have a question. Why is it you're the #1 top recipient of lobbyist campaign contributions in all of Congress? That doesn't look like you're representing me. That's like you're representing somebody else, because they're not giving their money away for nothing. It might be a coincidence that you got that much money from lobbyists, but I don't think so. And we need to call bull on that. And here's a guy who says he wants to be fiscally responsible, right? We keep hearing all this stuff. But when he was in charge, we went from having 1,600 earmarks to, when he finished, 12,000. That's not the kind of fiscal responsibility we expect in Missouri. I call bull on that too. And this is the biggest whopper of them all. He gets comes up with a new one every day. So I have a long list. I'm only going through a couple. The last one is, this is a guy who voted to deregulate the banks. When they went hog wild, he then was one of the leaders of bailing them out to a tune of $700 billion of our money. And then, when it came time to hold them accountable, voted against it. Now, here's the whopper. That's not even the worst part. So, just this week, the head of the banking committee was at a meeting of a bunch of bankers. The guy's name is Dick Shelby. He's the single sort of guy who's kept financial reform and Wall Street reform from happening in the last couple of years. He was at the meeting of bankers, and the bankers said, "We hate this. We don't want this reform. What can we do to stop it?" And the Republican leader on the banking committee said, "Well, the best thing you can do is each of you can give $10,000 to Roy Blunt." No kidding. Can you believe it? You think he's going to be working for us out there? So, folks, this election is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a barn burner, as we say back home, but it's going to be about choices. And it's a choice between whether you want somebody that's going to be representing you and fighting for folks here in Missouri, or whether it's going to be somebody representing the lobbyists and the big banks in Washington, because it is very clear that Roy and I stand in very different places. And my record here in the state is one you know, of not only cutting red tape and costs for businesses, seeing what we can do to save money for them, but for fighting for investors and consumers. And we've gotten over $10 billion back in the last couple of years. It's real money that affects people's lives when they need to take care of a loved one who's sick or pay for a kid in college. $10 billion when the folks in Washington haven't been doing their job. So I am totally fired up about this. And if you can't see it, come on down. I'll give you a whole laundry list of other reasons that we can talk about in this race. But it is going to be a fight. I wish I could tell you it was going to be easy. But when I look out at this crowd tonight, we have been through thick and thin together. We've been through harder things than this. And I know that we can come out on the right side of this. This is one of the top targeted races in the country. It is not about me, though. It's about all of us. It's about our state. It's about the direction that we want. It's about the kind of government we want. It's about how we view ourselves and whether we have hope for the future or whether we're fearful about that and think the status quo is the best we can do. Well, I'm here to tell you, when I hear Democrats say they're discouraged or demoralized or kind of not too excited about things, I say I am more determined and defiant and ready to take on this battle than I have ever been. But I need you by my side. And here's what I need you to do. I know I've been serious tonight, but this is what I need you to do. Number one, I need you to be my bull detectors. Really. That's what I need. I need you to be my bull detectors. You know what I mean by that. So when you hear stuff on the radio, when you read it, when it's on the internet, when it's in the paper, when it's on the television, stand up, folks. Don't let it slide. There's so much misinformation out there, and this is going to be one of those races where we see it, and all those corporate guys that the Supreme Court said could spend whatever they wanted, they're going to be in this state. But I need your help to be truth tellers and bull detectors out there. Now, everybody should have gotten on their seat a card from our campaign. I hope you will take it and fill it out. You can get on our website. We'll get you information, and as you're walking out the door, we'll give you a bumper sticker. We need you to do that as well. We need a grassroots network. I need you to be my friends. I need you to take this on as a project this year. Because when we do, we're going to send a message, not just in our state, but all around this country, about the hope we have for the future and the knowledge that we can fix what's broken in Washington. So thank you all very, very much.